It's time to get on up with Jam and Renee. And here's your hosts, James Arthur M. and Renee Culver.
Good morning and welcome to Backchannel, the only place to listen to, watch, and chat live with the very host you're experiencing right here at this very moment. And right now, you are watching Get On Up with Jam and Renee, and I am your breakfast jam for the morning, James Arthur M.
And I am Renee Colbert, the very host you're watching. The very ones right before your eyes. Good morning, my friend.
Your experience, I mean, it's an experience, I would say, for us in the morning. You got us in the morning. It's a lot.
I had a petition in of I like Get On Up with Jam and Renee. If there is room on the billboard, which is surely coming, can you put the experience underneath? Jam and Renee.
I think the Jam and Renee experience. Yeah, I think we're up. I think we've earned it. What do you say? Get on uppers. Oh, we lost one. They said nope, not an experience I want to enjoy,
fair.
or
And
it's too much for them. That's fair. Got it. We got it. Not everybody's cup of coffee. I got it. Well, Renee, can we say hello to who is here? Can we do a little? Oh, we gained one.
Love to.
Give a penny, take a penny.
Okay.
Give a get on upper, take a get on upper.
It's like watching the stock market here. We're going to let you know when it's up. We're going to let you know when it's down. We're going to keep you posted. We're going to get a ticker bar across the thing. Listeners are up.
We give you the moment by moment. Like, you don't get this. You don't get this watching your favorite Netflix show. You have no idea who's watching. You think you're the only one, and we tell you who's also here because Jack just joined the stream. And who else is here, Renee?
I would love to chat. We got Julie, we got Bella, we got Alexi, we got Arlene, Keith, Edison, Doug, and Jack. Get on uppers. I would like you to know that we would love to chat with you, but you also don't have to. I am projecting this, but I get nervous when I jump into a show for the very first time and I feel like it's interactive and participatory. You can wait. You can test the waters. If you want to interact, you can interact. You don't have to do it. If you don't want to do it, it's your Tuesday. However you want to properly celebrate. But damn it, they did want to interact. If they did want to talk to us, how could they do such a thing?
Well, they do just what Jack has already done. Jack letting us know. Jack's got a microscope. This is great. We're sharing.
Great.
We're sharing. And what Jack did is Jack into their Alexa device. Oh, I said it.
It's all right.
Did it make yours go off? I'm so sorry.
Well, I got headphones in, so I think it only happens when I say it. So honestly, you could say it all the live long day if you want it.
Oh, right. No, not for our Get On Uppers who are probably not listening with headphones. I just activated everyone's.
Mindful.
I just activated everybody's Excella or Echo device. So it's really simple. You just into your Echo device and Stacy, thank you for informing me that I did not make your device go off. Phew, that'd be a disaster. But you just into your device, you say is the magic word, and whatever you say after that will appear and you'll be part of the conversation. You are part of the conversation. And I will say, I do know this for a fact. Backchannel folks, they like to chat. They like to chat with their hosts. It's what they're used to.
We love it.
They love it. That's why they're here. They're not. They're watching us and not the Today Show because Hoda's not listening to them.
Sure. Yes, but nobody performs well under pressure, so you got to take the pressure off and then let them come to you. You got to let them come to you. Now, Doug, what I love is that Doug cares about punctuality. He cares about being here on time. He's feeding the cat. Wasn't quite here, but you're here now, Doug, and that's all we care about. All we care about is that you get here eventually. That's fine.
I gotta say, after a month in, I love it. We're still getting to know more information about our Get On Uppers. Doug, I had no idea you had a cat. You have a cat. Name of cat, if you wouldn't mind. I know if you want to keep it private, that's fine. You're like, I don't need you knowing all of my personal business, but would love to know if you got a cat. Do we have any other pet owners out there? First question of the day, a little test, a little warm-up question, really simple. Let us know if you have a pet and would love to know the name of your pet if you've got them. And looks like Doug's got two cats. We got Sophie and Chloe. Those are adorable.
Perfect
names. I want a Disney animated series about the adventures of Sophie and Chloe. I want that. Renee will do one of the voices. I'll do Sophie. Yay!
I'll do Chloe. And hear me out. I do think the personalities will mimic to the point that we will be issued a lawsuit of Pinky in the Brain. You'll be the brain.
Oh, okay.
I will be
Yeah.
thinking.
Oh, okay. Well, I've made a different, interesting choice for my Sophie voice, but there's no turning it back. Trust your gut. Hey, Chloe, let's go eat some
Yeah.
kibbles and
No,
bits.
I
I'm a
think that
character
sounds like a
actor. I'm a character actor. You
perfect.
play you, as we decided yesterday.
Yes,
Renee
it's
plays
just normal.
herself. I am a
Which is great.
character actor,
Thank you.
and
And
yeah.
then we take it from there. No, I love. Well, yes, Doug. My dog's name is Tugboat, which I love, but will definitely throw most people for a loop. They're like,
I love
is
it.
that
I think it's
all right?
very Renee. It's adorable.
Thank you.
It's cute. It's unique. It's very on brand for you. I was going to tell
Very
you
good.
on my way, because I was up north doing some wine tasting, and on the way back, there was a building, and on the name of the building, it said Tugboat. And I wanted to take a picture, but we drove by too fast. And
Okay.
I'll just see if I can
I've
find a
it.
Google
I've got it
image.
up here.
I'll
I've
find
got it
I'll
up here.
find a
I
Google
can
image
I
for
can
you.
visualize. This is very exciting. Thank you for caring. Thank you for thinking of me. That makes me feel so special. I love it. I love
Oh,
it.
and
And Stacy's got a
Stacy's got
dog
a
named Nala.
reminds me of Nala from The Lion King. I'm wondering if you were inspired or it just came to you. Just came to you.
Sure.
Nala was
Yeah.
in The Lion King, Simba's girlfriend. No, she was doing her own thing. You know, she was a huntress. She was a
Well,
hunter.
they were business partners, I believe, initially, and then one thing led to another. But
Well, I
yeah,
mean, he left for a while,
sure.
as they do. I will say, I don't know if you've seen so the Disney or have you seen what do we think about the Disney remakes, people? Do we are we feeling them? Is there one that stands out? Is there one that maybe they just shouldn't have done? What do we think about the live action remakes based on the animated series or the animated movies that we grew up with that are like literally a frame by frame I redoing of the original one. The Lion King one is so funny because a lot of it just seems like a vehicle for Beyonce because Beyonce plays Nala and Nala doesn't have the
Sure.
largest role, but they're like, oh, Beyonce's here. Well, they stretch out her part, and she's so many times on the heels of Formation was literally like, lions, let's get in formation. And she doesn't do it once, but twice. The first time we're like, oh,
Numerous
cute,
times.
okay. And then she's like,
Right.
lions, once
She knows
again, let's go, ladies, let's get in formation. We're like, okay, got it. You're Beyonce. You're Beyonce doing the voice of the cat.
I get it that they're just like, no, we're definitely gonna. There's got to be a reason that we've done this, and we didn't let the original, which was perfect and didn't need to be changed, have a reboot. So they're just like, well, does the original have Beyonce saying "get in formation" twice? No, it does not. And
Yep.
so that you
Well,
can hang
we're
your hat
gonna.
on that you can rely.
Well,
That's
that
the
way
whole
they're
reason
like,
we needed to make it.
yeah. They're like, we're not doing the same thing. Like, there's not the rinse, wash, and repeat. Okay, I get it. I get it. I will
Okay.
say she does. And then Beyonce sings Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Usually it's just some random beautiful voiced woman who's like, Can you feel the love? But it takes place during the day. So, but the song still is called Can You Feel the Love Tonight? And I don't know if they can get the CGI to work at night, but
That's
yeah.
funny. I've missed that, and that is very funny, and I love it very
Uh-huh.
much. In general, please stop. Please stop. Disney making these live action films for kiddos. I maybe get it that it's a way to introduce a younger audience to both stories, but with but that's not a redo of it. Two of the Disney things that I've been like, brilliant, you nailed it. That's phenomenal. Lady and the Tramp on Disney Plus,
Yes,
hysterical,
agreed.
so funny,
10,000 points. Yeah.
and Cruella, brilliant,
Yeah.
so funny,
Here's
so funny.
you know what I think it is, and Renee let us not Renee. Well, Renee, you're already letting us know, but get on uppers. Get on uppers. Let us know your thoughts on this. Like, what do you think about the live action ones? What are your thoughts? Is there one that you like? What do you think about them? I have a theory, Renee. It's
Mhm.
twofold. If you're gonna do these, you have to. It's one direction. It needs to
Yeah.
be out of the older canon, right? Ones that we haven't seen in a while.
Mm.
I'm not
Mm.
against remakes. I just think that it needs to be like at least 2 decades before a remake happens. Because like
Fair.
we already have, or even maybe like 3 or 4. Like Lady and the Tramp, it's old. She needed to be redone. It is racist as
Yeah.
well. Like
Yeah.
the cats,
Yep.
Siamese cats.
Yep.
They did it. They did a rap, and I
Yep.
was like, no problems with this. And I also feel like the women were better written in this as well, which you don't even really think about Lady and the Tramp as like,
Right.
yeah, but I thought they same thing. No notes. Wish it came out in theaters. And then my other thing is if they do it from a different perspective. So I think why Cruella
Mm.
and Maleficent work is
Mhm.
that it's like, oh, it's everyone has a story to tell,
Right.
and the villains are not villains in their own stories. They all have like a backstory, and
Right.
in typical Disney fashion, the thing that turned Cruella bad was that her mother was killed by
Her mom
Dalmatians. Like
was, yeah, and she was
everyone,
treated terribly.
oh
Yeah.
yes, that's true. But I will say, like everyone called it in the beginning. They're like, oh, I
Yeah.
bet she hates Dalmatians because they killed her parents. And spoiler alert, that's
Seems about
exactly
right.
what happened.
Seems about right. But I
Exactly.
also think the reason to really lean into those villain ones is because traditional Disney movies sort of teach the lesson of happily ever after and things will just work out. And so you go into life expecting such a thing and it don't quite work that way. But the villain one is so, I think, so helpful in teaching kids, yes, that person is mean and it's because they got hurt. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I
Hurt
definitely was
people
not given
hurt
that.
people.
Thank you. Was not
Hurt
given that
people
message
hurt pillow.
as a kiddo, and I'm glad we're getting it now. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you would have been maybe you would have been a little more mean. Is that what it is? Because you're
I
like,
think
I've been hurt.
I would have been more forgiving of mean people. I would have been
Oh,
like,
okay,
"Oh,
that
I
works.
get it. I get it. I
Okay.
get it. That makes sense. They're not just mean to
Well,
hurt me. It has nothing to do with me."
I love it because Stacey let me know that Stacey doesn't think it's a spoiler that I was like, I don't that Dalmatians killed Cruella's
Shoot,
mother.
no, I don't think so either. Yeah.
Um and Stacey's into the remakes, and also, okay, your service dog is Nala, and when she lays down by your door when something's wrong with you, oh, well,
That's very
my
sweet.
dog would be like on my lap right now because I'm holding on for a hero. I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there. It's where life is happening,
Buddy.
but you just
And
keep on
we're
going. And in
working
fact,
it. Yes.
let's talk about let's briefly run through what's coming through the show, Renee. Can you run us through what's coming through the
Please.
show?
Yes, I would love it. Nothing more. We will run past. I want to make sure you're physically okay. Do you have a cold? Do you need a tissue?
Nope,
Okay. All right. There's
nope,
just a lot of
nope,
emotions.
nope.
I get
It's
you.
emotional pain.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for you. I'm sorry for any get on uppers going through it. It's tricky times. It's tricky times. But this
Gonna
show
give you
is
the
gonna
spotlight as I am the
I can put
voice of the goddess.
nothing
Can
more.
you and you let me that way I don't interrupt. You know me. I'll be like, oh, and Renee, don't forget. You're like, yeah, Jane, I'm doing it, doing the
Eh,
show.
no, you are the engine. You are the
Oh, Renee, did you tell them about Treat Yourself Tuesday? Did you tell
not
them?
yet. I haven't even started.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
even get to it
Oh,
yet.
okay. All
I'm
right. Oh, so sorry, so
dawdling.
sorry, so sorry, so sorry. Oh, and then we've got
uh,
a celebrity
mhm.
birthday quiz.
Yeah. Perfect. And then after that,
And don't you forget about Two Truths and a
mhm.
Lie concerts we've gone to. Okay, Renee. Okay, all right, I'm
No, it's
done.
it's great. It's great. I think we're all loving it. We're all loving it. We're having the very best time. And then after Two Truths and a Lie, we will be going through. Do you think he's coming back? You think he's coming back? Can I set him up for success? So you guys, we do have a great show for you. I think you heard all of that. But we're doing Treat Yourself Tuesday. We're doing celebrity birthdays. We're doing Two Truths and a Lie. We've got check your calendars. March 1st. So we are now scooting from Black History Month to Women's History Month. So we've got a lot of great stories for you, all provided by Jam. Jam will be bringing you the history. I will be bringing you balloon animals. You get it all here at Get On Up. So we'll do Women's History Month. We'll also be bringing you the news. You know that we give you the news on the second half of the show. So that won't be showing up until at least here in California. It'll be 8 o'clock. So if you're like, what has happened? What's going on in Ukraine? You got to wait a full hour. But we'll get to it. Then we will also be doing Rank It. We're bringing Rank It back. Today we will be ranking the top pop princesses. So we've got Britney, we've got Christina, we've got Mandy Moore, we've got Jessica Simpson, probably got a lot of others that I'm not even considering. Who among pop princesses for you, Jam? Just to give them a little teaser of who we're ranking. Who else is in that tier?
I'm saying tight-lipped till we get there. We gotta
You won't say
staying
it. You won't say
tight-lipped
a
till we
thing.
get
Won't say a
there.
thing. Okay,
I'm
it's only fair. It's
sorry.
only fair.
I'm
And then we'll wrap up
sorry.
the day with Giving Tuesday. So we've got lots of great stuff for you guys. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun today. And
Yeah.
that
Well,
is the show.
That is the show. That's the show. Good night, everybody. We just taught them what we were gonna do for the
Mhm.
show. Yes. So we are now. It's Treat Yourself Tuesday. Treat Yourself Tuesday. It's
Mm-mm.
Tuesday. What you gonna
Mm-mm.
treat yourself
Mm-mm.
to?
Mm-mm.
So,
Mm-mm.
if this is
Mm-mm.
your first time at Get On Up, you know that we like to do a Treat Yourself Tuesday. So, we want to know, what are you going to treat yourself to today or even this week? What's that thing that you are like, ooh, that is the juicy, juicy thing that's keep me motivated because I'm going to reward myself through this. Sometimes Tuesdays can be a little rough. It's like Monday part due, the continuing, or like
Yeah. Yeah.
Monday, the sequel,
Rip.
still not Friday.
Yeah.
So we want, I think we thought it would be great to jazz up Tuesday, give it a little something. So Get On Uppers, we want to know, what are you going to treat yourself to? I remember last week, I do believe Doug was going to treat himself to some guacamole. I want to know,
Oh,
did that happen?
excuse
Did we
me. We got
have
to hear
it?
that guacamole was. We got to hear. And Doug,
Yep,
I
yep,
do
yep.
appreciate you letting us know when you were not here. You were forgiven. You are forgiven. You were never required to be here. But we do notice. We notice. We love you. We miss
Oh,
you. So if you're like, I
yeah.
wonder if they even noticed. We do.
We
We do. We love
do. We
having you
do.
here. We love having you here. Um, yeah. When back in the day when I was a runner, there was nothing worse. So let's say you're doing a half marathon. So that's going to be about 13 miles. Nothing is worse than hitting 5 miles because that's a lot. You've already run 5 miles and you have 7 more to go. So you
Oof.
haven't even
Oh my
run the
God.
amount that you have ahead of you. And that's what Tuesday feels like. It's like, well, I got through Monday. And you're like, well, there's more where that came from. So
Absolutely more.
Tuesday is the 5 miles of a half marathon.
There it is. Oof.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or 8
Well, I should
more.
have
I guess you have
stretched
8 more
first.
if you're at 5 miles.
Should
Yeah.
have stretched first. Renee, what are you treating yourself to this Tuesday?
Yes, I would love to tell you. So I don't think that it is anywhere near what you're going through, but just in general, I feel like all of us are like, "Ah," and sometimes I can't access what I'm feeling, so I have to outsource it and I have to do something else. So last night, my plan was to watch Coda because I hear it's sad. I was like, well, that'll make me
Mm,
cry and then that'll make me feel
mhm,
better. Uh,
mhm.
but I am so particular that I like to eat dinner while I watch my show, but I don't want to cry into my dinner. So I was like, you know what?
Fair.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch one doll face and then I'll go watch Coda. You can't watch
Mhm.
one doll face. Doll face is the Pringles of shows. You can't watch one doll face. Absolutely not. You're gonna keep on going. So yesterday I watched five five episodes of Doll Face.
Wow.
I know, stayed up way too late. So today I am going to cry and I'm gonna watch Coda, and that is my plan. I'm gonna treat myself with tears and Coda. That's the plan.
No
How
laughing for
about
this lady. No
no?
laughing for this
Thank
lady.
you.
I do want to catch up. It looks like Doug has chimed in. So again, y'all, the question is, what are you going to treat yourself to today? I can see some
Yes.
of our Get On Uppers are hard thinking. God, what am I going to gift myself
What
with? It
am I
is the
gonna do?
gift that'll keep on giving.
Mm-mm.
And Doug said that he's going to go out with his grandma. And because yeah, he's going to go hang out with his grandmother. Lovely, lovely.
Great.
Oh, and looks like spicy ribs are on the menu for today with Doug.
That sounds delicious.
Spicy ribs.
That sounds
That sounds so
delicious,
good. Spicy ribs.
right?
I love a rib. I'm gonna tell you, I've
It's
not crossed over
fantastic.
to
Fan
vegetarian-ish for ribs.
How has that
I
been? Do
won't
you
do it.
feel better? Do you notice a difference?
Here's the thing. I was more so
Mhm.
vegetarian-ish when I was cooking. And if when we remember, when was the last
Yes.
time I cooked? Do we
When was the last
remember?
time any of us cooked? Yeah. Well, I mean,
Okay, yeah.
numbers are good, but and you're not among someone who will be like, James, you gotta cook. Never. Never in my life.
No, no,
Never,
no.
never in my life.
So I wasn't cooking meat, and that was the easiest thing. Like it was like meat as a treat, so I'd
Right.
eat it like once a week. But now that I'm not cooking, and DoorDash has offered me an annual pass because they're like, okay, buddy, let's just go ahead and knock
Nice.
this up
Here you
much,
go.
a notch.
What is the
Um,
DoorDash annual pass and how do I get one?
oh yeah, it's $96 for the full year, so that's $8 a month, and so you save out all those some delivery fees. There's some restaurants who are not attached, and you just don't order from there. But yeah, save yourself some money. Are you not already a monthly member?
I am not a
You don't have
monthly
a DoorDash
member.
pass?
I made
Renee, why are you
a
throwing your money
resolution
away?
I know, in September to not order food, to like just not order food. And so it's been better, but now it's starting to creep back in. So as it creeps back in, I guess we should
Yeah, remember you
Okay.
treated yourself to some pizza last Tuesday, and you said you ordered it through DoorDash. So
I sure did.
honestly, if
I
you
sure
use
did.
it at least
Yes.
4 times a month, it's already going to pay for itself.
Look
So
at that. Okay, I will do that immediately.
all
Immediately.
right,
Okay,
perfect.
so maybe and speaking of vegetables, that's the other thing I'm going to do. I'm going to reintroduce vegetables into my diet. I have not been eating well.
That is so odd. That doesn't sound like the Renee I know. You are dancer, fitness instructor, enthusiast, wellness lady. So I just see you just munching on carrots and celery
All day
and
long. All day
stir
long. We're gonna bring
fry.
it back in. Yeah, because you just feel
I
so much better if you get some veggies
oh
in there.
yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. I do try to
Yeah.
order some veggie stuff. Jeffrey, welcome to the show where it's Get On Up with Jam and Renee. We are talking what you're gonna treat yourself to. It's Treat Yourself Tuesday. If you didn't know, now you know. We're
Love it.
talking about what we're gonna treat ourselves to. And Doug did give some advice, Renee. It's okay to cheat once. You're fine. It's okay to get that cheat meal in there.
Nice.
Is
Thank
it,
you.
I
Thank you,
suppose,
Doug.
but
I
is it a
appreciate
cheat
it.
meal every day or once a week? How do we do cheat meals? Get on
How do
uppers. What do
you
we
well,
think?
listen, I think Doug means once a day. I think Doug means once a day. And Lori, we're so excited to have you chime in here. I think is that a game, Lori, that you're gonna be watching? I feel like yes. Is that a soccer game? I'm gonna need more information.
That is
I'm sponsored by
RuPaul's
DoorDash. Yes,
Drag
Lori.
Race UK versus the world.
Oh, Lori, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I'm so
Yep.
sorry. How
I'm gonna
very
need.
dare I? Lori, I
There's
want
a
to be
lot of
friends with you
letters. There's a
deeply.
lot of letters. There's a lot of letters. It's hard.
Oh,
It's
that
hard.
should have
But
been in
then
front of
we're
me.
clearing it up.
It
And
should have
Lori,
been
we
right
are
in front of
not
you.
sponsored by DoorDash. Not yet. Wouldn't you do it?
But it's
Lori
fun.
hops
Yeah.
on, and all we're doing is talking about DoorDash. That's
Sure. Well, I guess that's what
right.
that is. Hilarious. Jim, how are you treating yourself today? I hope it is indulgent because you deserve it.
Well, I've switched. I was not going to have therapy this week, but then the way this week was going, I called an emergency therapy session, getting the team
Gotcha.
together. I
Gotcha.
treated myself to some therapy this afternoon. I'll
Yes.
go to the
Great.
gym, which is great. I had a week off from the gym, so it's good to be back. And
Good.
I want to watch something funny, so I don't have it planned. I am soliciting from you, Get On Uppers. I need some laughs and some joys into my life. Okay, Lori going hard on that drag race.
Yeah. Drag
Okay,
race. It's
Lori.
drag race. We love it. And we love to see it.
And the
We love to
UK
see
one,
it.
I could maybe watch the UK one. I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't watch the US RuPaul's Drag Race, and I have a
Okay.
reason.
I'm
I work
listening.
in the San Francisco drag queen community. I'm with some of the old school drag queens who've been in the game for like 40, 50 years. And so the RuPaul girls, it's sort of like, I think, here's my thing. Here's my thing about RuPaul's Drag Race.
Right.
It's a great show. I'm glad it exists. It's helping to put sort of, queerness on the mainstream. And I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum. My thing is, having worked with drag queens and having done drag myself, the best part of the show is the lip sync for your life. And I wish that that was the entire show where they're just
Sure.
doing performances. There's a theme. So the theme is like barnyard, and they all have to put on like barnyard performances. They have time to practice. There's backup dancers because that's the drag that I know. It's not
Yeah.
do this monologue in a
Sure.
bee costume. Like you're not, that's not
Fair.
usually what they're doing.
That's fair.
So I think,
Yeah.
and
But
I also
I,
work with a lot of the legendary San Francisco queens who don't get onto the show, and I've also worked with some of the RuPaul girls doing shows here in San Francisco, and not all of them are nice. So
I get
I'm
you.
not trying to
I
yuck
get you.
anyone's yum. And you did mention the UK version, so maybe I will give this a try. Thank you,
I
Lori.
love that, Lori. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, that sounds good. And I like a completist. Lori, I'm just putting this on you that you've watched all of them, but I like it. I like to see somebody who watches the whole thing. I definitely respect all opinions. If you want to watch them all, great. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
And I don't, I like solicited. I was like, what should I watch? And Lori recommended. And I was like, no, I hate it. And here's my
Which
TED
is
talk
fair.
of why
Yeah,
I don't like this. So
get
I
it. I
am
get it.
apologize.
I
Welcome to Dale and Andrea who just joined. And then Stacy's on the hunt to find me something funny. All right, Stacy, you've got this mission. You're
which
gonna find
is
me something funny to
very,
watch for today.
very kind. Might I recommend Dollface? It's
I knew you were
great.
gonna go
You're
there.
gonna love it.
I have watched the first 3 episodes of Dollface season 2. I was talking to Renee last night, and Renee's like, "Oh, I just started." I said to Renee, because Renee has passed me in Euphoria. I said to Renee, "Oh, you're probably gonna pass me on this." And Renee's like, "Oh, no, I won't." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on episode 3," and Renee's like, "Well, I'm on episode 4."
Well, I'm on 4. Yep.
Yep, yep, yep.
I have some compulsion issues. It's fine. When it shows up in TV, we love to see it. We love
I
to
do.
see it.
And I just wanted to pop out. Doug is really raving about Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix. And Doug, there's
Yeah.
another mystery show that you're a big fan of. I forget what it's called. Doug loves the mysteries. That's what I've deduced. That's
I
what
love the
I have
mystery.
solved the mystery of what is Doug's favorite genre show. Doug, let me know if I'm wrong. I think you love.
I
You love a
love
little
it.
mystery. You love a little
I
mystery.
love it.
I love it.
Maybe because
Oh,
Unsolved Jim, you
it's
might love Unsolved Mysteries because there's reenactments. Is that right, Doug? Does
I
that seem
do
right? I
love
think you
them.
might love those
I
reenactments.
I would love to be an actor, a star actor in reenactments. Here's the thing, though. I don't necessarily like murder. I like cults and cons. I love a
Okay.
show if they have like unsolved cults or
Yeah.
unsolved cons.
Great.
Give me a con, a cult and a con. I'm there. I
Right.
am there. So,
I love it. I love it.
Renee,
Okay.
should we
So many
get
recommendations.
to?
Yes.
Should we get to celebrity birthdays? Celebrity birthday.
Yes,
She's
please.
mentally
Yes, please.
preparing
Yes,
herself.
please. I love it more than anything in the world. I did some work. It's
Happy
okay to be
birthday
wrong.
to
It's okay to
ya.
not know
Happy
things.
birthday to ya.
Mhm.
Happy birthday. All
Mhm.
right. So today's celebrity birthday quiz. It's a fun segment where we're gonna have a lot of fun. It doesn't matter if the answer is right or if it's wrong. We're really just a fun way to celebrate some celebrities who have
So
birthdays.
you
And you
guys,
know
here's
what?
what happened
More than
yesterday is that there was
anything,
a
we're gonna learn
very,
something new.
very because I think we're missing a lot of people are just like, why are they getting so intense about birthdays? So there was a question yesterday. I didn't know the answer to. It was like, I don't know it. And both Jam and our producer, Sarah, were like, you know this, you know this. And I was just like, well, now I'm shut down. And I'm not gonna answer. And so it got a little tense. It got a little tense, but today I don't care. That's fine.
There we
I'll be happy
go.
to be wrong.
Yeah.
Scream at you all you want. I don't care.
We're just gonna have fun. We're just gonna have fun. The name of the game is fun, and there's a fun way
Good
to
times.
celebrate these celebrities. So the way it's gonna work is we're gonna celebrate a celebrity. We're gonna say a question about them, and y'all can chime in into your device, say, or you can type it if you're on the YouTubes. Type the answer in, and you all are working together as a team. Renee's not flying solo. Renee has all these
I
11
got a
teammates.
team.
You're
I got a
all in this
team of
together.
experts.
And the pressure is not on you, Renee, at all. There's no pressure. No pressure. We're just gonna have fun. Fun, 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 fun. All right. Our first one is it's Harry Belafonte's 95th birthday. Go
Happy
off,
birthday, Harry Belafonte.
Harry Belafonte. I mean, the man's won Grammys. Well, okay, never mind. Whoops, I'm gonna stop saying these things because okay, you can't go off of what I just said. I gave you a
Okay.
hint. It's not this. Harry Belafonte was the first African American to win this prestigious acting award.
Ooh. All right, get on uppers. What do we think? So
Belafonte.
we know our options. We could do an Emmy. We could do an Oscar. We could do a SAG award. Are there any other acting? We could do a Tony.
A
Let's
Golden
see.
Globe.
Get on us or a golden. I thought we don't mention the Golden Globes. We do not.
But doesn't mean I can't change history, Renee, if that is.
Okay. Get on Gompers. Do we have any suggestions? Anything that you think? I will go with Oscar. He won an Oscar for acting.
With the Oscar, absolutely. He actually has, as far as what I saw, I believe he got like an honorary. Yeah, he won one honorary Academy Award. I know. How has he not ever won? The only because if you remember, yes. So we're gonna learn a little bit of history there. You're gonna grow a little bit.
Please tell us.
Sidney Poitier was the first African American to win an Oscar, and then not until Denzel Washington won for Training Day. Not since Denzel Washington. This is a huge gap. So you have Sidney Poitier and then Denzel Washington in the same year that Halle Berry also won for Monsters Ball. So with that, sometimes the Academy will give honorary Academy Awards. Cicely Tyson also got on because you're like, how are these legends not getting awards? Racism. Right. Yeah, that's what happened. So, but he was the first Black actor to win an Emmy. That's what Harry Belafonte did. He was the first Black actor to win an Emmy.
Deservedly so.
Deservedly so. He also is Harry Belafonte is so big. He helped organize the contingent of celebrities to attend the 1963 March on Washington. His parents were Jamaican immigrants. And I highly recommend classic movie. And we should maybe, I don't know, maybe Sarah, we can find a spot for her. Dorothy Dandridge. She played has anybody seen Carmen Jones? Classic film, Carmen Jones. Classic movie with Dorothy Dandridge, who has a tragic story. There's a movie on HBO where Halle Berry plays Dorothy Dandridge. Highly recommend. Really, really, really great film. And this movie, Carmen Jones, was like a really, really big deal because you had two Black people, starring in this movie, and there was romance. It just was a really legendary movie, and she had to do all of her own stunts. It's crazy. She's running on a train, like a train car bed. It's wild. It is wild. And the story of Dorothy Dandridge is it's tragic, but she was such a trailblazer, and I wish we celebrate her. Also, last thing about Harry Belafonte, Sarah shared with me, he had a variety show with Julie Andrews at one point. Yeah.
Look at that. Doug coming in with his own trivia. I love this, Doug. Absolutely, I'll play. What does HBO stand for? Now, I've got some thoughts. I've got some guesses, but I love it, Doug. Doug would like to field a question to all of us.
All
Get
right,
on uppers.
great.
What does
Look at this.
HBO
First time
stand
for anything. I will go with my third grade answer. HBO stands for hot body odor, please.
Okay. Very
That's
funny.
what we
That's
used to
very
say.
funny.
That's what we used to say in the third grade. HBO stands for
very
hot
funny.
body
Body
odor.
odor. I love it. I think we can use the process. So, okay, we're watching it at home, but watching movies at home. So I think it's probably something to do with home for the H. And then let's see. Okay.
But I'm gonna go with
it's not hot body odor, Jam. Yes.
Dang it. Well, our producer Sarah has chimed in because finally Sarah's like, a trivia question for me, because Sarah helps put together a lot of the trivias. Home box office from Team Get On Up. We're gonna go with that. Home box office.
Very one. Home box office. We love to see it. We absolutely
Thanks,
love to
Doug.
see it. Doug, we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. Our next birthday turning 39. It is Lupita Nyong'o turning 39. All right. Before starring in Black Panther as Nakia, she won an Oscar for this movie in 2013. Big movie, a little heavy. And Doug, Sarah, you are correct according to Doug. Yep.
I love it. And Stacey's going to do some research. You guys putting in the work. We love to see it. So, a movie that came out in 2013 that she was in. I can't remember when 12 Years a Slave came out, because you said heavy, which would give indication to such a thing. So I believe it's that, but let's see. Get on uppers. What do we think? What before Black Panther? What movie that came out in 2013? Let's see. Oh, look at that. Okay, yeah, Doug, I like it. I love it. We love it. You guys, you're killing it with the home box office. We'd love to see it. Moved on to this one. I'm going to go with 12 Years a Slave. Was the movie that she was in.
Look at Renee. She studied all the history facts last night. She was like, oh, I will not be caught. Made a fool 2 days in a row. Absolutely. Yes. It was 12 Years a Slave. Very heavy movie. So often I've heard it's one of those movies that people will be like, oh, I just haven't been in like the right mood. I'm like, you're never going to be in the right mood to watch a movie like that.
And I know
not a mood that's coming. If you are in the right mood, I have questions about you, right? Like anyone who's like, gonna pop on 12 Years a Slave. Like, okay, it's just a movie. Again, I'm such a big, I know these things are heavy, and you have to be, I get it, like in a certain right space to be able to take it on. But a huge fan of Bear Witness. I've always said bear witness to people's struggles and journeys. That's how we keep their stories alive, and we learn for it. And yes, Stacey, right there with you. 12 Years a Slave. You and Renee killing it over here.
Working together as a team.
Okay, Javier Bardem, who recently played, he was recently cast as Ricky Ricardo in Being the Ricardos. Have you checked out Being the Ricardos? Not on your top list, Renee?
I need to. The Time Warner Classic, TMC, right? Classic Warner. The point is, there's a podcast that really, no, but it's done so
Yeah.
well. Yeah, it's great. Podcast is great.
There's
Have not listened to the movie
There's
or watched the
also a
movie.
documentary coming out too about Lucy and Desi, which I really, really want to see. That I
Yeah.
probably think this movie probably does the documentary does a little bit better job of it. I think I just
Yeah.
had issues with the casting. I love a Nicole Kidman. I just think that there are funnier
That's fair.
women out there
Do
to
you
play
know
Lucille
who's behind
Ball.
that documentary? I was
Who?
excited to see this. Amy Poehler is bringing you that.
Oh,
Isn't that
you're
cool?
right. Yes. Yep. So I
Yeah.
can't wait to see that. I think that's the story that I'm waiting. Because I was seeing clips of it. Did we watch I Love Lucy? Get on uppers, chime on in. Did we watch I Love Lucy? What did we think? Fans, I mean, come on. It's such a classic. It's such a classic. And what I also say is I think, again, I was watching it as a kid, but holds up the test of time. Like, I feel like there's not a lot of like racism that happens in it. And in fact, they kind of lean into the fact of like him being like Cuban, and I don't know. I have to
Right.
rewatch it with like adult 2022 eyes, but I remember being a kid not being offended. Like, I think it was a pretty progressive show.
I mean, I think you can almost guarantee that anything that was made before yesterday is going to have some problems to it. But I think that of the programming that was out, they did the best job, I think.
Yes,
We'll see.
agreed. I
We'll
think
see.
I'll have to rewatch. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Yes. But the comedy, the comedy is such a genius. And they started their own movie studio, which was like a big
Yeah.
thing at the time. And it was a big issue
Right.
because he was Cuban. You know, there was like he was Cuban.
Yeah.
Which Javier Bardem is from Spain, so people had some issues with him being cast. He was not Cuban. Okay, but what was the 2007 movie that he starred in, playing a psychopathic assassin? I've not seen this movie. It has been on one of my lists. You know, you build up those lists and you're like, oh, I'll watch that one day. Been on there for years.
It'll stick with you if you watch it. So I think I know this one, but Get on Uppers, what do you think? Any thoughts on it? And honestly, this might be wrong. I don't know if this is right, but I think it's No Country for Old Men. Does that seem right? Was that 2007 when that came out?
You did it,
Oh,
Renee.
hey,
You did it.
me.
No, stop second
Okay.
guessing yourself. Ding, ding, ding. Get that answer in. Get that right. You did it. You did it. That
How
was the
about that?
exact answer.
How about that?
All right, next birthday, it is Kesha, not with a dollar sign because she had to get rid of the dollar sign because she didn't have the rights to it. You know, it's been just a drama. If you're like,
That's
where has
wild.
Kesha's music
Oh,
been?
boy.
It has been
Yeah.
wild. She was, assaulted by Dr. Luke, producer. She wasn't able to get the rights to her music for the longest time. It's just the music industry is insane. But she turns 35, so we celebrate her today. What is her one of her most famous songs that is now a very popular app? What is
Oh, gosh.
also shares the name of a very popular app? What is or one of her
Okay.
most famous songs that
Let's
is
see.
also now a very popular app?
Very good. And Stacey would like to double down that I need to work on not second guessing myself. Thank you so much, Stacey. I appreciate it. Sometimes you got to hear it twice. Gosh, Kesha. What is your song that is also a very popular Tinder? Her smash hit song, Tinder. Is that right? Is
Oh,
it
you are so close, Renee. So close. She's a song called
Bumble?
TikTok.
TikTok. Oh, that's very cute. That's very cute. TikTok.
Yes,
I don't know if you
before
heard
TikTok
recently,
was a
but
thing.
I got my TikTok privileges taken away.
Wait, what? Have you been what? No, I haven't.
know.
You'll need to
I know.
elaborate, please.
Now it's
what?
self-inflicted, but as a middle-aged woman, the damage with which I did on Saturday night, I was like, we'll take a quick look at TikTok at 7. And then at 9, I looked at the clock.
Oh
So
no, for 2
immediately
hours
deleted
you
the
would
app.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh
can't.
no,
You can't be
Renee,
on
you
TikTok
don't need
anymore. No
that.
more TikTok for
Yeah.
me. I'm not allowed. I'm not
I
allowed.
love that you recognize like your limits and where you were. I remember that would be like me with Facebook back in the day before Facebook was a messy madhouse of insanity. You could spend all day just be at work. It'd be so hard to get anything done because just be on Facebook all day, chat with friends, seeing what people are up to, and reading articles, and not anymore. So
It's
I don't really have any of that.
But TikTok, the algorithm of TikTok, they figure out what you like and they're like, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go. And what I also had to discover is this is not great. This is not a good revelation about myself. But my my kink is watching how difficult it is to raise children.
Oh,
So
interesting. You're like,
they're
glad I
just
made
showing
this
me,
choice.
yeah, exactly. They're just showing me mom struggling over and over again. I'm just like, well, I guess I've made the right choices. So me and TikTok we're gonna take a little break. We're gonna take a little
Fair.
break because
That's
it's
fair.
hard to be a mom. Yeah.
Oh my God, so hard. All right. So Renee, it is Mark Paul
Yes.
Gosselaar's 48th birthday.
Okay.
We know
Zach
and love
Morris
him
himself.
as Zach Morris. This is a multiple choice question for you. So he can actually speak a whole other language fluently. And the question is, what language can he speak fluently? Is it
Ooh.
A, Spanish, B, French, C, Portuguese, or D, Dutch?
Ooh, great. It's a great question. I have no point of reference for this. So, Ken and
Sure.
Uppers, do we have
Yeah.
any ideas? Do we have
Yeah.
any
Yeah. Yeah.
any thoughts of what that could be? Dutch seems crazy. So let's go with Dutch. He's fluent in Dutch.
I want Renee to know that she came back as an A+ student today, and Dutch is the absolute correct answer. Yes, yes, yes. It is, in fact, Dutch. All right. Well, you're on such a roll. I have to ask you a follow-up, a follow-up
Please.
question. What is Mark Paul Gosselaar's full name? Is it Mark Paul Harry A? Oh, Stacey went with you on Dutch as well. Look at you two. Dynamic duo.
Boop, boop, boop.
What is Mark Paul Gosselaar's full name? Is it A, Mark Paul Harry Gosselaar, B, Mark Paul William Gosselaar, C, it's Mark Paul Gosselaar, fool, D, Mark Paul George Gosselaar?
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I wonder why he's fluent in Dutch. So he has Harry. Let's go with Harry. I feel like, is Harry a Dutch name? Better than William
Renee,
or well, yes.
killing it today, this morning. A is the absolute answer. That is it. Mark Paul Harry Gosselaar. You
How
probably got
about
rid of it
that?
because there's like, that's just too many already.
There's
Mark
always too many
Paul.
names. That's too many
It's
names.
many
I
names.
can't.
Get out of here,
He
other
could
name.
go as a Harry, though, don't you think? Well, I might have
could go
changed
as
his
a Harry.
personality a little bit. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. The Mark Paul Gosselaar was so, I don't know, so interesting. It's like, oh, it's so many names
So
right at the
many.
front.
I
Wow.
love it. And he's delightful on the reboot of Saved by the Bell, which you introduced me to, and we love so much. It's great.
Just so good. Just so good. Oh, did not realize this. Okay. I didn't realize who this trivia fact was about. All right, it's Justin Bieber's 28th birthday. Justin
How
Bieber.
about that?
Ooh.
Happy birthday to the babe.
Ugh, not aging well. Not aging well.
Oh, he's okay. He's been through a lot.
A lot of drugs. Yes,
I
absolutely. This is
know. Well, he was
literally
a
a
kid
PSA.
when you're
Just
thrown into the
say
limelight at
no.
11. Okay. All
No.
right.
I'm Drew Barrymore rooting for him. That's what I think. If Drew can do it,
Okay.
I believe you
He can do
can.
it. Yeah.
But I think, I don't know. Parenting is hard, but I do think it does help.
Parenting
You
is
can see the celebrities who've had some solid parents around them. And one, two,
Sure.
Dina Lohan comes to mind.
Sure. Yes.
Try not to party and do drugs with your kids. I think that is a good option.
Great. Great
thought.
first start. Great first start. Yes.
All right. So this question is actually not about him. It's about John M. Chu, who was the director he directed Justin Bieber. I think Sarah was like, I'm not looking up any facts about Justin Bieber.
Okay.
So here's what about John M. Chu, who was the director for Justin Bieber's documentary and also his baby music video. But he also recently directed a movie musical that came out recently.
Okay.
A movie musical that has some hip sounds to it.
Okay. Cyrano.
Does Cyrano have is it a musical?
It is a musical. Yeah.
We were looking for In the Heights. In the Heights.
Oh, he directed that?
Yep, he directed
How
In
come
the
I
Heights.
thought Lynn directed that? Yikes. Okay.
Nope, he wrote it. He wrote it.
Fair.
But
he directed Tick Tick Boom.
Yes, he
thank you.
did direct that. He did. But John M. Chu also directed this truly outrageous movie based on an 80s cartoon, and nobody liked this movie adaptation. I have a hunch you had to, as a young girl in the 80s, because I was a young girl in the 80s as well.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
watched this cartoon. He directed a truly outrageous movie, a truly, truly,
Movie.
truly outrageous movie based on this 80s cartoon. Maybe you
I
didn't get this cartoon in Colorado.
love this. Did you do the Ninja Turtles?
Ooh, in that genre, Gem and the Holograms. Did we watch Gem and the
Oh, sure.
Holograms?
I love it.
Truly,
Did
truly,
not.
truly
No.
outrageous. Dude,
No.
you didn't watch
Adorable.
Gem. Did you
I
watch
know.
Gem? You didn't
I
watch
know.
it.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
I
I
watched
know.
Gem religiously. Do we have any Gem fans in the house? This is why this movie was so terrible. Not great.
Didn't
It
like
was
it. Was not a
bad.
fan.
It was
Yeah.
it was like they
Okay.
tried to ground it too much. You're like, no, Gem is a ridiculous concept where she uses holograms. She's Jerica Jones, and she transforms into Jerica Benton. She's Jerica Benton, transforms into Gem using holographic technology that her father built. She also runs
Brilliant.
the Starlight House, which is an orphanage for girls. She also runs Starlight Records. She just does a lot, and
All the
has a
things.
rivalry
All
with the
the
Misfits.
things. I
And the
love
movie
it.
was so grounded. They're like, she's a YouTube star. I'm like, no, we don't want that.
No. Well, I'm very impressed with your knowledge of it. That sounds.
I was
the-
obsessed with Gem because her
Yeah.
name was like Jam, but Gem. And as a 4-year-old,
Yeah.
I just thought they had just misspelled it. I was like, oh, this
We
must be like
love
a
it.
Dutch spelling. It's me.
We'd
It's
love to
about
see
me.
it. I definitely had the doll. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe I just didn't have access to the cartoon because that sounds right up my alley. But I don't watch it.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Yeah, because usually they're like, watch the show, buy the doll, and you just skip
Right.
right to like, got
Yeah.
the doll. They're like, great, we made our money off of her.
We
Next.
did it. We did it. We got her. We got her. Oh, very cool. Okay, so I'm glad we've learned a lot about the director. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Stacey, giving great recommendations over here. We will check out Hail King Julian on Netflix. Sounds great.
All right.
We'll check it out.
Last one. It's Ron Howard's 68th birthday. Actor, director, producer, father of, I can't say his daughter's name, Bryce Terrence Howard. His daughter, Terrence Howard.
Yep. Sounds
What's
great.
the name
Great.
of his daughter?
Dallas.
Howard
I think
Dallas.
Dallas. Bryce
Howard.
Dallas
Howard.
Howard. There we go.
Dallas
Yeah,
Howard.
We got it.
Dallas
We nailed
Bryce
it.
Terrence Howard.
You nailed it. Yeah.
I don't know why I struggle with her name. Okay, he most famously played. Okay, can you name the show that he was most famously on back in the day? It was like the 50s. He started off on this show. Took place like in the 50s. Took place in the
Yeah.
50s. Monday,
So
Tuesday.
he's definitely on Happy Days, but I think you're.
There
oh,
it
no, if you're
is.
singing
That's
the
the
song, okay,
show.
there it
That's
is, Happy Days. Okay,
exactly.
great.
Now,
Great.
bonus question: can you name his character name?
Mike.
Yes, Mike. Also, full name was Richie Cunningham, but all the fans called him Mike. You were so right.
Adorable.
Richie Cunningham.
Great. Yeah. I wonder how Happy Days holds up. That I watched religiously. I think it's because we didn't have cable, so I think you just had to watch whatever was on. And Happy Days was on quite a bit. It was in
Quite a bit.
reruns.
Yeah, it was there. Well, there it is, Renee. I think you did a stellar job. For celebrity birthdays, we did it. You did it. We
Get
did it.
on
Congratulations,
uppers.
everybody.
What a
Celebrity
team. What a
birthdays,
team.
they happened.
To the best of us. Well, happy birthday to all these little sweeties who were born March 1st. It's March. It's nuts that it's March already. I can't. How this year it is so true that when you were a kid, time crawls by, and when you're an adult, you're like, okay, all right. So a year is a week. Great, fantastic.
Oh,
Fantastic.
absolutely. Ooh, Renee, looks like you can still find Happy Days on Amazon Prime.
You know what, Steve? I will go check that out. That seems fun. I want to go
Yeah,
see.
and
I
let
love
me
Harry
know.
Winkler.
Does it
Yeah.
hold up? Does it hold up? Apparently, Ron, I was kind of had a sour experience towards the end because he was
Mm.
friends with what's his name? Who is the Fonz? You just said his name.
Harry Winkler.
Belafonte. Harry Winkler. Yes. So he's friends with Harry Winkler, but when Harry Winkler came onto the show, the Fonz wasn't originally. He was like the Steve Urkel of the show, where like Steve
Sure.
Urkel wasn't originally on the show, but then just took over. And so the Fonz just took over.
Right.
And so people would ask, like, hey, how does it feel to like be second fiddle on your own show? Like he was being sort of like, I don't know, gaslit, and like writers are kind of being rude to him towards the end. And he was such
Right.
friends with Harry. So it was
Yeah.
had a sour experience towards the end.
Yeah. It sounds like. Yeah, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I think they're both doing fine now.
Oh,
Barry
yeah.
is hysterical on HBO, and Ron Howard keeps chugging out hits with his
He
Imagine Entertainment.
does.
We're all
They're
going to be fine.
doing
We're
fine. They're
all
doing
going
fine.
to be fine. But speaking of growing up and the things we did in the past, it is now time for Two Truths and a Lie, wherein we help you get to know us, your two hosts, Jam and Renee, by playing the game Two Truths and a Lie. Historically, this is how it goes. Let's see how it goes today. Renee will say two truths and a lie. You decide which one is a lie. Jam will say three truths and a lie. You decide which one is a lie. Today, the theme of Two Truths and a Lie is concerts we've been to and or places we've lived. Concerts we've been to and or places we lived. Jam, do you want to kick us off or you want me to?
Yes, absolutely. I'll go first. So,
Okay.
concerts I've been to, and I would not want Renee to think that I would change up the game. So, here are 4 concerts that I've gone to. One of
There you
them is a
go.
lie.
Proud of you. Proud of you.
I went to Janet Jackson, and I've been to her 3 times, and one time she brought me up on stage to do a little bit of her. She always brings up somebody to do her nasty little dance thing, and she brought
Okay.
me up on stage. Life changing.
Okay.
I went to Britney in Vegas. Saw her in Vegas. Saw
Look at
Britney
that.
in
Okay.
Vegas.
Great.
My first concert was MC Hammer, TLC, and Boys to Men. The first concert I ever went to was MC Hammer,
We love
TLC,
it.
Boys to Men. And
Okay.
I've seen Madonna twice. Once in a small intimate space, and the other time at this giant Coliseum area with front row tickets. There were $400 tickets, but I only spent $100 on it and almost didn't even go. And didn't realize how close I was. It was wild.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That's incredible. That's incredible. All right, get on numbers. Which do we think? So we've got Janet Jackson, Britney Spears. So it was TLC. Who else was it?
MC Hammer and Boys to Men.
MC Hammer, Boys
First
to
concert
Men.
I ever went to.
Very first concert. Or Madonna. Which one do we think it was? I feel if you were at a Janet Jackson concert and you were brought up on stage to dance, this would be brought up every hour on the hour for the rest of your days. I feel like I would have heard this story backwards and forwards 1,000 times over. So while I want that to be true, I feel like there is a version of that story that is not true, thus making it the lie. Is what I think.
Dang, Renee is like brought. Did you get a lot of sleep last night? Renee has brought her A game. Similarly to, I forgot Lupita Nyong'o's birthday was today. I forgot to ask you all the bonus trivia question.
Oh, let's
Which
hear it.
Get On Up host interviewed her at the Black Panther red
Yes,
carpet?
yes. No, it was important. I'm glad we got to it. I'm glad we're swinging back around. I'm going to try to use process of elimination here because I don't know the answer. But if I were to use process of elimination, I know I have not done that. So let's go ahead and see who's left. Who's left? Oh, I guess that was Jim. Jim, was that you? Did
It was
you?
me. It was me. She actually crashed my interview with the late Chadwick Boseman. So we were interviewing Chadwick Boseman, and she hopped up, and it was a really cool, just 4-person interview. It was really, really
That's
great. She was
amazing. That's so
But
cool.
Renee, you're so right, because I will bring up me doing the Black Panther red carpet any chance we can.
And you should.
Any moments. You're so right. Yeah, Janet, I raised my hand, but she didn't pick me. So she always brings up somebody onto the stage, and it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
She
But I
should have
did
picked
see all the
you.
other ones. Yeah.
Should have
I
picked
have
you.
seen her 3 times. I have seen her 3 times.
which is incredible. So you have gone to all those concerts. You just didn't go up on stage with Janet
I
Jackson.
didn't go up on stage. Yeah,
Okay.
that was the lie. That was the
Well,
lie.
and I would, if I know Janet, and I think I do, I think she tosses and turns at night, that she chose the wrong kid. And she's sorry. I'll speak for her.
I
She's
will
sorry.
say she does have a keen eye. She usually picks a gay man, because she does, some. It's I wouldn't be able to describe what happens on that
Right.
stage here on
Right.
our morning show, but it's a little
Yeah.
racy, and so yeah, she picks a gay man. They tend to be gay. Yeah, what
I
I've
love it.
noticed the trend.
Oh God, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. I love it so much. Okay. So that is a fantastic way to play this game. Now it's going to get to me, and you guys at this point know that I have zero culture at all. All I know is musical soundtracks. So as far as being well versed into a genre that would elicit a concert, it's few and far between. So consider this as you know it. So I had to dip into other places I've lived so that I could get to 3 answers.
Okay.
So the first one is I went to see Savage Garden at the Universal Amphitheater right here in Los Angeles, California. Savage Garden? Who is that? There's a song. Oh, you know it.
I wanna. Yeah, they have that one
I
song with it.
wanna
It's like
stand with you on a mountain. I
I
wanna
want to
be
dream
with you
with
in the
you
sea.
in my dream. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Loved it. Lost my mind. Sang along with every word. Loved it. Had the very best time. Now, Jim, you're not going to like this next part. But when I was in New York, was good friends with a lot of the Broadway stage managers, and the Broadway stage managers also manage Madison Square Garden. So I had, and I am not kidding about this, front row in the pit seats to Britney Spears' Circus. I know. And at that
Wait, when was
point,
this?
2011, 2010, 2011.
Mhm,
Okay, is that
mhm.
track? Was that track when she was on tour? Did I get it right? Maybe.
And you.
And God, she's so talented, but even at that point, like you could just see in her eyes, like it was just like, oh God, she's not.
She's not
You
there.
know the sparkle that you want to see in your artist on stage. It's just like somebody took away her joy. She's so talented, but the joy did seem to be a little bit.
2010, 2011, and you're saying this was the circus tour.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. Okay.
Nothing else
Uh,
changing about
Okay.
Okay,
No,
got it.
okay. Okay. No
Okay,
further questions.
great.
No further. Maybe it was 2008, 2008, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. All right.
I also, what I am praying to God here is this is not somebody else's story that I have conflated into mine. I'm pretty sure that was me. I'm going to tip my hat. I definitely saw Britney Spears at Madison Square Garden. I don't remember when it was. And I'm pretty sure it was a circus concert. You'll tell me. You'll tell me in a little bit.
Circus, and it was like a circus theme. There was like
Yeah.
it was like in the round. It was a
Yeah.
circus theme. That's
Yeah.
circus. Okay.
Okay.
Then can I give you a note and adjustment on your story?
Please.
You're gonna want to
Please.
say
Let's hear it.
2008, 2009.
Okay.
That's when the circus
2008,
tour
9.
was.
Great. Okay.
2011 was Femme Fatale. So I just
Got it. Okay. Got
so
it.
she
But I eventually
wasn't there.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. So 2008, 9. That makes sense. And then because those are the only 2 concerts I've gone to, I lived in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Okay, great,
Yay.
cool. Let's do this. So my thought in theory is that Renee seriously named 2 concerts that she's been to,
The
and then
only
just
2.
named
Uh-huh.
the location. I do not. If you would have said maybe like Hollywood, I'd be like, okay, they have like dancing, and maybe she was like
Right.
a dancer there. Also, the lead singer of Savage Garden, I knew this. He came out as gay in the
Yeah.
2000s.
Yeah. Honestly, they have some really good anthems if you like that kind of music. But I love it. I think their second album is fantastic.
Well, I love it. So I definitely think you did that. I think you went to the concert and had a great time. And I think that you did go to I'd be so jealous. And if you didn't go to the Britney concert, it's mean because you you were like, ooh, look at Britney James. And you knew I would run right to that and be like, oh, that's gotta be true. Drooling. If this is a lie.
That is true. That is true.
Oh,
Yep.
it's true. Good. Our friend
Yeah. No. My stage manager friend also stage managed at Madison Square Garden. He's like, we have tickets if you want to go. And we're like, yes, of course we want to go. It was great, but it hurt my heart. It made me sad for her.
course.
Because she
I
was
wish I
so
would have.
good, so
She
good,
was
but
so good. You can
there's just
watch.
no sparkle in her eye.
Yeah, she was killing it. She was fierce. But again, at this point, she's on meds. She didn't want. She was like literally months out of like the mental health institution that she was in. Like she was been 5150'd, which is something in California. You're put on suicide watch. And she had a psychotic break. And there were psychologists who were saying someone who's had a break like that should not be doing the work that she's doing. And this is like the beginning of her conservatorship. And they're like, how is this woman going on stage performing, doing all this stuff? And they're like, oh, she can't be in control of her own faculties and her own, like, she's on that stage and all that choreography. So she literally at that point is in a circus and she's a caged animal. She literally like dance lion, not the lions, dance bear.
Yeah, I think it did seem to be, I still can't land on this, but it seemed a little exploitive of the freak show element to it. I think is what they were trying to drive home. So they had a lot of able-bodied dancers, and then they had a lot of dancers who, there was just one trampoline scene that I was like, on the one hand, I'm glad they have work because they maybe otherwise wouldn't get that opportunity. But I also don't like the sort of framing of why they're on stage.
Yep. Yeah. Well, Get On Uppers curious, what concerts have you all been to? Can you share in the chat what are some concerts that you've been to, or ones that you wish that you would go to? Like, what is it that you've gone to? We've heard some from us. Well, love it, Renee. Love it. When I went to Vegas, it was a little disappointing because I'm a huge Britney fan, and like even then, like, it was just like a job. It was a job. I wish I would have gone earlier on in her career.
But West Palm Beach was not pulled out of the hat, and I never lived there, but I did do a show there for 5 weeks at the Kravis Center, and I was like, I could live here. This is great, just because you're right by the beach. It's so beautiful. And then that documentary of, oh boy, who is bad and died in jail? What's his name?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, so you watch the Jeffrey Epstein documentary, and all of that took place in West Palm Beach, and you're just like,
oh yeah,
oh boy.
No, you don't want to. Yeah, no, Renee, I don't need you on any island on a jet.
No, I will not. I will not be doing such a thing. So yeah, there you go. Two truths and a lie. I've seen Britney. I've seen Savage Garden. Those are my concerts.
Oh, look at you. Keep it simple. I don't think you need another one, Renee. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. All right. Well, we're going to jump into Welcome, Grace. You came at the perfect timing. We are getting into our Women's History moment of the day. It's Women's History Month. Later on in the week, Renee is going to quiz us on the history of women's history, where we'll learn a lot about how it got started. But today, I figured since last month was Black History Month, I figured it'd be a nice passing of the baton if we talked about Toni Stone.
I love it.
Toni Stone, who is Toni Stone? You ask? Well, Toni Stone was an American baseball player who, as a member of the Negro American League, Indianapolis. First of all, some of these team names. She was part of the Indianapolis Clowns. That was the name of the team.
Okay.
Terrifying for me. But look at these clowns over here.
I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry. I hope you're okay. I'm sorry.
Oh gosh, who named that? But she was the first woman to ever play professional baseball as a regular on a big league team. So this was a really big deal. She had a love for the game at an early age. At 10, she played in so at 10 she was playing. And her parents were like, okay, she can't play baseball. This is insane. She's a lady. And so they brought over their priest from their church to talk her out of it. And he saw how good she was, and he was like, okay, do you want to play for our team? So they had a team. Her Catholic priest came over to try to dissuade her, and he asked her to join her team because she was so good. And so she joined the St. Peter Clavers, which was a Catholic league. So she had joined them. So then she dropped out of high school because she was like, I'm a professional. I'm good. I don't
Mhm.
need this. And she did it. School's not for everybody. And later she would also work as a shipyard forklift operator. She also worked as a cafeteria employee in San Francisco. Forgot to mention she was born in Alameda, which is right here in the Bay Area. So she's a
Oh, cool.
California Bay Area legend.
Right.
She began her professional career playing for the Wall Post American Legion team and the San Francisco Sea Lions. Okay, these team names are getting that's getting better. I like
It's a
that.
little silly. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, but it's better. It's better. It's just
Better than the clowns.
True,
so
but like guys get tigers and bears and
but no, she's on
dolphins
a
and
no, Renee, she's on a
yeah,
men's baseball team. She's not
I
playing
know.
women's sports. Okay,
But
but
nowadays,
she's
yeah.
she's on a team full of men. It's not
Right.
it's
Right.
not
They're
like the
better.
lead.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, but I
Yeah.
think it's legendary because she is playing baseball and she's like the first woman to do it. And it's also one of those things when you hear the story, it's like, I don't understand why there isn't more women being like playing baseball. Like it's the one such an equalizer of sports where it's like
Right.
if you can hit and you can catch and you can throw, boom, you're good, right? Like
Right.
there should be more women in professional baseball playing and making that professional baseball money.
For sure.
So she made about $200 to $300 per month, and that's equivalent to about $3,000 to $6,000 today. Well, pretty good. It was pretty good money
Very good.
considering.
That's very good. Yeah.
Yep. So her batting average of .280. I don't know what that is, but I think it's good.
Sounds good. Sounds great.
Yeah. Didn't you dabble in softball? Wasn't there a cute boy or something?
Yeah. Oh, always for a cute boy. Always for a cute boy. And yeah, I made the games last 15 minutes longer than everybody else on the field because I could not catch the ball. And the collective me missing the ball added 15 minutes to the game. I was not asked back.
Oh man. But I bet you look but I would be cheering you on. I would love for you to
Well,
join
thank you.
some sort of sports team so I can just cheer you on, Renee. That's what I
Oh,
want to
you
do.
sweet, sweet, sweetie. You are
For
the
my
best.
birthday, please play a sport so I can just be like, go Renee. You're doing
Yay! I will.
it.
You are the best. You are the sweetest.
So her spot on the bench with the Negro League All-Star team, she had so that's her .280 average was with the Negro League All-Star team. She continued to travel across the United States, playing second base for the minor league New Orleans Creoles. Not a great team name either. Like that's just a group of people, and that's the photo
Right.
we see here playing for the Creoles.
Gotcha.
That's weird. And then she married this guy named Arluisa Paseca in 1950. He was a man 40 years her senior. So that is what is that? May-December romance, if we ever saw one.
It's
And he
criminal.
did not approve of her playing baseball. He was like, don't
Okay.
no. But she was like, no, I'm going to continue playing for the Indianapolis Clowns, you clown,
Yeah.
until her retirement in 1954. But she loved it. She loved playing this sport. She really was really a champion for women to be able to play the sport, especially for women of color. And despite her being a trailblazer, this one wouldn't surprise you that, there's still a lot of discrimination in Major League Baseball today. There have been 17 managerial openings in the past 2 off seasons since Major League Baseball it publicly vowed after the murder of George Floyd, like a lot of companies and things, they said, we're going to hire more Black people to be managers. And 15 general manager and head of baseball operations opening since draft day in 2020. No jobs have been filled by a Black candidate. So again, folks, talk that talk. And she also really faced, this won't surprise you. This is like the 1950s. She is a Black woman playing this male dominated sport. And she would receive taunts. Sports people can just be terrible. I mean, humans can be terrible.
Sure.
But they would
sports
yell
people
at
in
her.
particular. Yeah.
And they would yell at her and taunt her. They would say, go home and fix your husband some biscuits, is one of the taunts that she would get. So
okay. Well, I
but
yes.
But today we celebrate Toni Stone, who is a person I knew nothing about. Where is her movie? Toni Stone. Tony Stone.
Let's get that movie
First
going.
woman to play baseball.
I love it. Now, Jam, historically, we report something and we say, let's get that movie going. And there it is going.
You're
So
right.
let's look and see.
If the tone speaking in, if we're
Remarkable.
speaking it into existence.
Amazon has a documentary about it.
Oh snap! Okay, look at that.
There's a play about it at the Milwaukee Rep. I would love to watch that documentary. And this play seems great. The play's debut, and it's interesting to this. So the Alliance Theater is debuting a show called Tony Stone from February 10th to the 27th. We just missed it, but hopefully that's making its way to Broadway at the Milwaukee Rep. Are you guys in Milwaukee? Who's in Milwaukee?
If you're in Milwaukee, Doug's in Ohio. Oh, that's not far. Wait, nope, it is. Milwaukee's in Illinois. Next state over, I believe.
And I guess on February, gosh, all this stuff is happening just now, which makes sense. But Google Dougal, which is where Google is just like, hey, you should know about this, honored Tony Stone on February 8th. This is exciting.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So if you were wondering who that was on February 8th, it was Tony Stone. And I'd like to also point out, Doug did chime in and asked about what concerts y'all have been to. It looks like Doug's been to several country concerts, but can't go anymore. But that sounds fun. That sounds good. Love a concert.
Yeah.
Love it.
Now so interesting about this, Jam. It's so helpful that you don't know about somebody. Then you learn all these cool things. Then you Google it yourself and you're like, oh, well, now this is my new rabbit hole. Sorry, TikTok. I'm going to be looking at Tony Stone the rest of the day.
Look at you, Renee. Look at you finding a new, more maybe useful hobby, but then maybe you'll find some TikToks on history. I will say though, sometimes the information on TikTok not always so vetted. So be careful.
No, I've heard great things. I've heard people learned how to knit. I've heard people learned how to buy a house. I hear that there is great information out there. I am not to be trusted with it. I can't learn it there, but I'll take myself to Google.
Heard
like
that
the
people
middle-aged
learn
woman
about
I am.
Conspiracy theories. So I mean, it really, you can learn it all. You can learn it all. Renee,
so
can you take us into our next news segment?
Yes, you guys, it's Tuesday, so you know that we've got to have some alliteration for you. Also, look at that dog. Look at that dog, you guys. He's so sweet. It is Tuesday, so we have Today I Saw in the news is the alliteration that we will be using. The news is tricky. News is a little tricky right now. So we're going to do our best to touch on it, but then also give you some stuff that's good, some stuff that's fun. So in the news, I don't know. Well, Doug, maybe this is for you, possibly. We were just talking about concerts. And there were so many concerts that got canceled in 2020, like tours, bands that wanted to tour that weren't able to. And so now they're all trying to reschedule, and we'll see if we can actually get it to go. And among those groups is the Chicks, formerly known as the Dixie Chicks, no longer, because we know the origin of that word. And so now they're just the Chicks. They have a very, very sort of tricky past of trying to speak up for themselves and then getting shut down and having death threats, and it just turns into a whole pickle. But their tour is back on. Tickets go on sale today at 10 a.m. I just made a note to myself. Oh my God, you got to remember to get those Dixie Chicks tickets, because it's at a theater here in Los Angeles. They're playing The Greek, and they have just released an album called Gaslighter, about how Natalie was sort of gaslit by her husband. And so if you want a breakup song and the breakup was ugly, get yourself to Gaslighter, because those songs are great. But what's interesting is that they have a lyric in one of their songs about how her husband was caught at the Hollywood Bowl with the person that he was cheating on. So everybody was like, oh, wouldn't it be great if they played the Hollywood Bowl? They're not playing the Hollywood Bowl. They're playing the Greek, but the Greek is closer to me. So I'm happy about it. And it's just a nice little, like, I don't know, I guess not revenge story, but it's just good to see, like, I think they were maybe unfairly shut down, and I'm glad that they're back and they're doing okay. And it is not the first time they've been on tour. They went on tour in 2017, but now they're back. So if you're a fan of the Chicks, tickets go on sale today at 10 a.m. Go get them.
That's exciting. I love the Chicks. I love them. I've loved them their entire time. I love them, and I love. Yeah, they speak their mind. They, I think, fight for equality for all, and I'm a big fan. Lori pointed out that the play you were talking about with Tony Stone was at ACT in San Francisco, and I doggone missed it. Yeah,
Lori, how about that? That's very cool. Okay, well, Well, now we know. Now we know.
Yep.
I'm going to go look this up. It sounds great.
Yeah, that sounds great. Well, I hope you go to the Chicks. I want a full report. And Doug had also mentioned that their first concert that they went to. Are you saying, Doug, that your first concert you went to was the Chicks? Have you seen the Chicks? But you did mention that it was pouring down rain at the very first concert you went to. What an experience! That is
Crazy.
gotta
Yeah,
remember that one. That is gonna be remembered. I do have some fun stuff, but I also have some stuff that I just got to get to, y'all. It is it's a little heartbreaking, and I missed this. I totally missed this. That happened on Friday. But in Florida, in Florida, House of Representatives passed its notorious Republican-backed "Don't Say Gay" bill. Although they don't call it the "Don't Say Gay" bill, it's essentially what it does boil it down to. And so essentially this bill is bringing it one step closer to being signed into law. And what does this measure do? It effectively bans educators from engaging in any and all discussions of queerness and gender identity in Florida classrooms. The bill is stipulating that pretty much from kindergarten to third grade, you just can't mention anything that has to do with LGBTQ, queerness, or anything like that. And they're saying from kindergarten to third grade, some people are like, I don't want the government, and I don't want to co-parent with the government. And the unfortunate thing about this bill is that it is unfairly equates the existence of LGBTQ people to sex education and conversations. I'm gonna tell y'all, we do a lot of things that are have nothing to do with sexual education or conversations. We just exist. We're just human beings that live and have made amazing contributions to history and throughout. It's heartbreaking because there has been such progress. And what you're doing is you're silencing a group and community of people. It also is it's going been doing such great work to help create inclusive environments. It further isolates young people who are already 4 times as likely as their peers to attempt suicide before they graduate high school. Because what you're saying is, essentially you're saying, don't say it, don't be it, don't think it. It's an erasure that happens. So it's very, very, again, it's a slippery slope. You can see this starting to happen in one state and go to another. And I think the thing that's so heartbreaking is that these young people and this community is just being used as a political football. I don't really think a lot of these people who are backing this really honestly care as much as they say that they do, but they know that these fabricated culture war issues rile people up, get them angry and to the polls to make sure that it is, we got to get this bill passed. We have to protect the children. I can think of many ways we can protect the children. We can make sure that they are safe at school from gun violence. Florida is where there was that mass school shooting that had happened. I think we could focus our attention towards that, making sure that our schools are all funded. There's so many other things that we could be doing, coming together as a collective people and letting people just live their lives and be their truest and happiest themselves. The other heartbreaking thing is Florida is where the Pulse nightclub shooting happened, which was the biggest mass shooting affecting LGBTQ people to this day, mostly Black and brown folks. How you talk about the history of Pulse without, also mentioning this. It's a slippery slope because if you start saying, oh, you can't teach it K through third grade, then you can start saying, and essentially you just start, banning it. So I thought this was a very heartbreaking story. What can you do? You can donate to politicians who are fighting against this. You can donate to LGBTQ plus causes. You can, on social media, they're saying if you are in Florida or you know anybody in Florida, it's so interesting, Renee, they're not saying call your senator. They're actually saying tag them on social media. That's the new thing. So tag them on social media, let them know that you do not support this. And so those are some actions and things that you can take.
I'm sorry. That it's despicable and it's unbelievable, and I'm sorry. I know that you're going to therapy later, so you can probably talk it out there, but just I see you and I'm sorry, and that's awful. And I'm sorry. Florida, get it together.
Yeah,
Uh,
Renee, maybe we do need you to move there, so maybe we can run you as
right? So I
the
can.
nice politician. You'd be great,
What are you
Renee.
doing?
You'd be so great. I know they're mean, but you'd be so lovely. The world needs more Renees in government.
I don't think that they do. I feel like they need more jams who are just like, this has to change. Because as we learned at the very, very beginning of creating the show, that kindness works better. It just takes longer. And sometimes you don't have time. Sometimes you gotta act now. All
I
right, well,
want to
let's do
point out
it.
our producer
Yes,
Sarah said we need both of you. So I agree. I think
sweet, sweet,
we need
sweet.
all kinds of
No,
folks.
and we need Sarah too, and we need Sarah as well. Well, in classic get on up fashion, you ready for me to pivot into something that does not matter? You
Yes.
ready? I mean, it's slightly matters. So, sweet Jamie Lee Curtis, we love her so much. She kind of has her thumb on the pulse of all things fun, but her new venture is, and she also, her kiddo is trans, and she was saying such beautiful things later this week. So she's great. She's great at like finding a way to say things in a way that is beautiful. But she's coming out with a comic book. We love it. We love to see it. She is co-written
Ooh.
a comic. It is gonna be a lot of fun. It's a novel about Mother Nature, and also like maybe a little bit of climate change. So I think it's gonna be fun. I'm not a comic person, like a so it's not a
Ooh,
TV
I
show coming up, but a
am.
comic,
No, I
exactly. So I was curious
yeah.
if you're maybe gonna check this out. It is it's co-written by Curtis, and it is going to possibly be made into a movie by Bloomhouse.
Of
So I think that's
course
sort
it
of the
will
coinciding
be.
comic that comes with it. The premise of it is that there's a character named Nova Terrell who is witnessing her father die a mysterious of mysterious circumstances. And turns out one of those, it's all about an oil well gone wrong and getting things from the earth that they shouldn't be getting from the earth. But I think it'll be sometimes you just have to find interesting ways to inform people about what's going on. So you're going to hear about climate change via this comic, and I think it's a lot of fun. And I am curious for my comic book readers if you like it. It is coming out pretty soon, so get yourself to the comic shop. You can take a look at the very first issue of Mother Nature.
And a female protagonist, which I love and prefer my movies, TV shows, and superhero things with a lady protagonist.
Thank you.
I'm not surprised it's Blumhouse because Blumhouse revived the Halloween series that she's been doing. So
Right.
she's been
Yeah.
working alongside with
They
them.
know. So they know. Exactly.
Well, I'm excited.
Exactly.
Curious, Get On Uppers, and just broadening the question, Get On Uppers, are there comics that you've read that you've really enjoyed that you would recommend? Which ones really stuck out to you? Did you ever read comics as a kid? We want to know. We want to know. How about you, Renee? Did you read? You didn't read any. Maybe Archie? Did you read like Archie comments
No,
or
of
something?
course not. No.
Betty and Veronica?
I did Calvin and Hobbes. Does that count?
Yeah, that seems
Okay.
you. Yeah. Because you're fun. Because I feel like all like the fun kids were reading Calvin and Hobbes, and I was like,
Sure.
oh, that seems fun.
But honestly, even then, no. If it was a musical, I knew everything. And that, no, we didn't have a lot of culture in my house. It happens.
I think musicals are a culture, Renee. You like that is culture. That's culture. Musicals are
Sure.
culture.
Well,
Happy
thank
Days
you.
is culture. You're
Thank you.
taking in nature, you're hiking, you're playing softball with the cuties, the cute boys, you're
All
doing
the
it.
things.
You're
All
living
the
your best life.
things. Love
Yeah.
it. We love it.
Okay, so I have a happier story after this, but I do
Okay.
have to tell you some
Of
news.
course. Of course. Absolutely.
So we're tracking the story in Ukraine, but there's a new story that came out that I hadn't quite heard about, that there are Africans living in Ukraine who are actually reportedly facing racism in terms of trying to flee. So again, it's being bombed, it's being attacked, and there are people who are trying to flee. But apparently, there's a lot of folks who from Africa go to study in Ukraine because it's actually more cost effective than going to like here in the US or even over to the UK. So they'll go to the Ukraine. These are studying, medicine, all kinds of different things. And there was a tragic video that came out this weekend that depicted hundreds of Africans being blocked by police and others as they tried to board the same trains, they were taking white Ukrainian women and children to safety in neighboring countries. But other social media posts showed that essentially they were like, no, 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 we've got to have Ukrainians first, essentially white Ukrainians first. And so people were having to wait hours and hours. And so you have people from Morocco, Nigeria, Egypt are among some of the top 10 countries with foreign students in Ukraine, with over about 16,000 students, according to the Education Ministry, and even thousands from India as well. And they're really struggling to get out of this country in terms of like they're being put to the back of the line. There was, several social media posts have been tracking this story. And then there was like one account where there was a Nigerian medical student at the Poland-Ukraine border. She told a reporter that she had been waiting 7 hours to cross, and the border guards kept stopping Black people who were trying to cross, saying Ukrainians through first. So just not a great story. Again, it's a completely tragic situation that is happening, but it just sort of there's always complexities within any situation. And I've always said this, that racism is a anti-Blackness is a global pandemic that even in times of war, that you're having a caste system of who gets to leave first.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's I'm so sorry. I don't
Just gotta
know.
shimmy it out. I'm gonna have a
You
dance
don't.
break
It's
right
awful.
now.
It's awful. I think the reason you're bringing it up is because you want us to take it seriously. So let's take it seriously. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know if this is good or bad to bring up, but I didn't know this. So on par with that, in that the president, Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, did you know that he has a massive entertainment background?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I saw a documentary of like he was a comedian.
Right.
And are you going to mention that he voiced a certain character?
Sure am.
Sarah, show that image. That was my next story too.
Oh, there we go. Okay, well, let's have you do it then, because you'll know a lot more than I do. Let's talk about it.
Well,
Go for it.
I just so he has a huge like comedy background, which I think is so funny. And in fact, he actually there was a TV show called in Ukraine called Servant of the People, where he played the president of the Ukraine, and that's what prompted his political career. And he started off as a comedian, but got really into politics. And he voices the Ukrainian version of the Paddington movies. He does the dub voice of Paddington in it. And then let's see, Hugh Bonneville, who played Paddington's foster father, Henry Brown, in the movie, he did a tweet really recently. He said, until today, I had no idea who provided the voice of Paddington Bear in Ukraine. Speaking for myself, thank you, President Zelensky.
Yeah,
so
very cool.
Kind of, again, we stand with you, President Zelensky. He's the voice of Paddington. Paddington 2, which I think has the highest I think someone voted it down, but up until recently, it was one of the only movies to have 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Paddington 2. And I think somebody recently gave it like a bad rating, and so it went down to like 90%, 99%.
That somebody is sorry and they didn't mean to, and they are wrong. Paddington is fantastic.
I've never seen.
You should watch. It's
really?
Also, one of my
99% on Rotten Tomatoes. Sorry, I just had to double check. 99%, and some monster. It was at 100%.
I know, and they're sorry, and they didn't mean to. It was probably somebody who's going out for the role of Paddington, and they haven't worked through their feelings, and so they're just feeling bitter. But no, it's great. It's really good.
And they wrote this review, and because this movie came out in 2018. It's rolling around for 100%. Let us know, Get On Uppers. Have y'all seen Paddington 2? I haven't seen Paddington 1 or Paddington 2. Renee, it's rolling around for 3 years at 100%. Then on May 28th, 2021, so just last year, Eddie Harrison of film-authority.com, like what site? Gave it 2 out of 5 and said the charm was entirely missing from the 2 Paddington films. And that made it drop to, can we have anything that's joyful in this world?
I know. But again, what we've learned is what's going on with you, sir, that you are You have
Hating
to
on
bring that
Paddington.
down.
Yeah.
I know. But yeah, back to this president. He was also on Dancing with the Stars. Like I don't know. I know that we're glorifying him in a way that should be looked at. Anytime you call anyone a hero who is flawless, it's probably something to be examined. But I don't know. I like the guy. I like him.
Yeah,
I'm proud of him.
same. Listen, I think he's in a very tough call, and I absolutely sending positive energy, hopes, and prayers this guy's way. And I also love, like, I don't know, a well-meaning comedian. Like, who's a comedian that you wouldn't mind here in the U.S. if they were
Right.
like, all right, gonna go be president? Like, I don't know.
Care of it.
Like,
Yeah.
Wanda Sykes, it'd be like if Wanda
Sure.
Sykes just like ran for president, became
I love
president,
it.
was doing good
I love it.
things.
Hannibal Burgess seems like he'd be good to me because he just tells the truth. Like he's the one who started the whole Cosby thing. Remember, it's
Yes,
possible.
and
It's possible.
he did not want to do the documentary. He was not. Yep. I think feels a little triggered that he feels guilty that he helped kickstart the looking into Bill Cosby,
Interesting.
even though it was in front of so many people's eyes for so long. I do want to point out that Stacey did share that Stacey watched Moesha growing up. I too
It's a great one.
watched Moesha with little Brandy dancing around.
Fantastic show. It is a fantastic show. I love it. Well, look at us having the exact same story. Great job reporting mine. You killed it. You nailed it. Wonderful work. Do you have any more?
I have some good news. Do we have a photo of Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet? Jason Momoa, Lisa Bonet, who we had heard were possibly going to get a divorce. Yes. So there they are.
Yeah.
Hottest couple in the world. Who also Lisa Bonet. Oh, interesting. Look how everything is so related. Lisa Bonet on the Cosby Show. She was originally on the Cosby Show.
Sure.
She then had posed for Playboy, and he was like, "You can't be on this show. You're being inappropriate." I mean, pot kettle. But then he created a different world, which is like such a great show. Bill Cosby's not on it, so it's like easy for me to watch it. But a different world took place at a historically Black college. It impacted so many minds of young Black people who are watching this. They're like, "Oh, I'm going to go to college," and it's such a great show. Like Debbie Allen was the director of a lot of the episodes for it. Debbie Allen,
amazing.
Felicia Rashad's sister. Like, again, the connections all over the place. Anyways, Lisa Bonet's daughter is Zoe Kravitz. Her dad, Lenny Kravitz. Just this family. I want to go to Thanksgiving there. Zoe Kravitz, who's also currently dating Channing Tatum, but also has intense chemistry with, who's the guy? Robert Pattinson, who's playing Batman right now. Anyways, assignment to Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Heartbreaking news was that they were going to get a divorce, but Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet. But it looks like it might not be happening. They might be trying to reconcile. They had first shared their news of their split in a since deleted Instagram post on January 12th. They had originally stated that the love between us carries on, evolving in ways it wishes to be known and lived. We free each other to be who we are and learning to become. I mean, is this too early for Thirst Trap Thursday? Because it's them. Their love, their marriage.
Absolutely not. It's beautiful.
They were only married
only him from previews of Aquaman. Is that how I know him? Is he Aquaman?
Did you watch? Oh, he was in the first season of Game of Thrones. He was also on Baywatch Hawaii. And he is Aquaman.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Yep, that's how I know. All right. I didn't watch Aquaman, but I saw the previews. Great. I've got a point of reference too.
You did it, Renee. You did it. They were only married for 5 years, but they started dating in 2005. But yeah, looks like they might be. So some good news. I mean, I was heartbreaking to hear that after 17 years that they might, and they have 2 kids as well. So yeah. But apparently Jason moved back in with Lisa about 2 weeks ago, and they are very much back together, according to a friend who told Hollywood Life. They decided to work on things rather than throw in the towel because they also have so much invested into each other, and they have 2 kids amongst each other.
The pandemic did a number on all relationships. I think that is the hardest that anyone has ever been tested. Hopefully the hardest anyone will be tested, specifically for relationships, especially with kids. So I think it's fair to be like, I cannot do this anymore. And then after some reflection, be like, well, hold on.
All right. Okay.
Well, hold on.
Get on
Yeah, and
back
especially
there.
after the holidays, ugh, the hardest. Well, I'm happy that they're back together, and I'm happy that they're happy. This seems very good. I like it. I like it. I like it. Jam, I do believe it is that time. If you were up for it, for another riveting round of Rank It, wherein we will be ranking something, but we're going to rank it on our terms. So it is not gold, silver, bronze. It is not first, second, third. It is not ABC. In our world, it is Destiny's Child. We will be going with number one is Beyonce. That is the gold standard, platinum as high as you can get. Number two, second place, is going to be Kelly. And number three will be Michelle. Now she made it on the charts, and that is what matters. But she did come in last.
It's true because Latoya and Latavia are two original members of Destiny's Child. They're not even on the podium.
They're not there.
Farrah,
See?
who was one of the replacements, I think she's in jail. A true story. I think Farrah's in jail.
No. Oh no. Oh boy.
Oh
All right.
man. All right. So what are we doing for Rank It this week? What are we doing?
Today we are doing pop princesses. And now we did not say of what year. I assumed that we were going late 1990s, early 2000s pop princesses.
Yes.
But I guess you could really take this anywhere, anytime, any place. I also assumed that this was in the US. So who knows? Who knows?
Sorry, Robin, you're
from.
not going to make it on the podium. Yeah, I'm so curious, Get On Uppers, who are some of your favorite pop princesses of the 90s? Who would you rank? You could even say it in order. We'll know what you're saying. So you could say your first person, your second person, then your third person. We will know. Renee, I'm curious, but this might be easy. I don't know. Maybe we'll be done with this in like 2.5 seconds, or maybe there'll be some contention. Renee always has a wild card. She'll be like Ashley Simpson, and we'll be like, wait, what?
I didn't know about any of that. No, I'm just gonna call it right out that I was like, only white women? Is that wait, no, there's gotta be. But then without looking it up, I can't tell you who else was considered a pop princess in the late 1990s, 2000s. So I think this can also be a learning moment. Can be a learning opportunity.
We can
for me to
also
learn
do
about princesses I didn't know
R&B. How about this? We'll do pop princess, and then we'll do R&B princesses of the 90s, 2000s, because music was still very much segregated, whereas now R&B kind of doesn't exist. Everything's pop music right now. I mean, it does exist, but it's not very like mainstream. So we'll do pop princesses, then we'll do R&B princesses, because I think there's
here's where it gets even worse is I'm not cultured. I don't know anything. So I can tell you the most mainstream artists. So I think yes, it will be fast for this first pop princess element, but then we can dip into James uses this as a teaching moment to tell me about R&B artists that I'm not familiar with.
And then you can go listen to them later today. All right. Wonderful. Who are your pop princesses? What is your Destiny's Child of pop princesses? Who's your Beyonce? Who's your Kelly? Who's your Michelle?
Yes. And Get On Uppers, I would love to hear how you rank these as well. Please let me know. So for me, always been my favorite, and I'm thrilled to see that worked out so well for me. Love Mandy Moore. I love her. She continues to be good. She continues to do good things. She continues to be kind. She continues to stand up for the things that need to be stood up for. She's great on This Is Us. She's married to the sweetest little man in Dawes. We love him so much. They got a new baby named August because her name is Amanda and his name is Taylor, and Gus is in the middle. They make a family. We love her. So Mandy Moore will be receiving the Beyonce award for me.
No way. Wow, Renee.
I know.
Right. I warned you all. Renee is a wild card. Never. And I will say, Mandy Moore is like rolling in her bed this morning being like, thank you, Renee. No one gives her the Beyonce award. No one puts her number one for 90s pop princesses, but Renee will. I am fascinated. Continue.
They should. And then I loved, because I'm trying to do this me in 2000. So this is just who I love. So me in 2000, I loved Britney. So Britney will be receiving the Kelly. Thank you so much.
Wild.
I know. And then I loved Newlyweds, which was Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey. So Jessica Simpson will be receiving the Michelle, but she's on the table. Now, this is a hard blow for Jessica Simpson. That yet again, even in a Rank It show where 4 people are watching, I couldn't even beat Britney. This is a difficult difficult day for Jessica, and I know this. I'm sorry, and I hate
It's
to
on
add to the
brand.
drama that you've
And
already
you've even read
experienced,
her
but
book. You've even like read her book, so you would
I
think
did.
like, they're.
But doing it based off Me 2000.
But even
Me
in
now?
2000, you were like, I'm so curious though.
Yeah.
Let's unpack this a bit. You
Yeah.
2000 were like,
Mhm.
yay, Mandy Moore over Britney
Yes.
Spears.
Obsessed with Mandy Moore. Obsessed.
No
Because
way! I
I
didn't see this coming. I didn't see this
I
coming.
know.
For
I
Candy,
love I know.
yeah, 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 yeah. And then her other song, Little White Panties in My Pocket. It's just, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I wanna
Yeah,
be
well,
with you.
I
Center
think
stage. It was center
that
stage. That's what got you.
yes,
Center stage is about
you remember,
dancers.
but I think it's so like when you're like, does representation really matter? Is it really that important? If you look to yourself, if you look to the things that you loved as a kid, is because the people that looked like you. So Mandy Moore was a little more wholesome. She had bangs. She
Oh.
looked like me, so I like Mandy better.
But what's so interesting is that oh wait, here's the thing that's really interesting.
Yes.
So, but you have Brittany, who's a dancer, you're a dancer. Mandy
Yes.
Moore, not they made her dance once and they were like, sorry, girl, we'll never have you
Sorry,
do that
we take it
again.
back, take it back, take it
There
back.
was a
Yeah,
movie called Center Stage where she didn't dance in it, but she sang the song for the movie
she
title
sure did.
soundtrack.
She most certainly did. Yes, correct. But she was so sweet on TRL.
Yeah.
She was
Brittany wasn't
she was
sweet
just
enough for you?
nice.
Wasn't Brittany
No,
sweet? I'm not.
no,
Wow,
no,
really?
no,
Tell me more.
no.
Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more.
She,
I
d-
love
d-
this so
d-
much.
I think it's also the
That's not oh, I guess, but I mean like an interview.
yeah,
She'd be like, "Hey y'all, I'm just
right,
from Louisiana and I'm just
right.
a sweet wholesome girl." But
I'm
she
just
was
a
this
I
was
just
too
can't.
much for you. The
Yeah,
snake and the
it
thong
wasn't.
on her jeans.
I think it was the ambition. I couldn't relate. I couldn't. That's oh god. I can't.
This is
Mandy,
so
she just stumbled
fascinating.
into it. Mandy just stumbled into it, and I can get on board for that. I can't get on
She's
board
like,
with
"Oh, you
me
want
and
me to
my
sing? Okay. You want me to be in a movie? Yeah, all right, sure.
okay,
Oh, you want me to go away for a bit? I'll do that too."
okay, all right, all right. Perfect,
Sorry,
spot
just
on
called a
Mandy Moore
Mandy.
impression. You nailed it. You nailed it. You nailed it. Um,
Okay, well, I'm gonna
no,
work my
I
way
just
backwards for
yes.
mine. Oh wait,
Okay.
yes. Well, I'm gonna work my way
No, no,
back.
no.
So you
Okay.
and I are gonna agree to agree. Jessica Simpson, it was a toss up between Mandy Moore and Jessica Simpson
Okay.
for the
Michelle.
Michelle. And
Okay.
Michelle's the person to me who's kind of a little bit ridiculous. They're like, "What? I'm here? Well, okay, great." They're kind of clumsy, and that just is, Jessica Simpson all day, every day.
Right.
And I feel like she had a little bit more notoriety than Mandy Moore. She had like the reality TV show. She was hanging on with a thread. You already had
Yeah.
Pepsi and Coke, and she's Mountain Dew. She's
Okay.
like, I'm the wild card here. What do you want me to
Right.
do? Well, Dukes of Hazzard.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll sell anything. That's Jessica Simpson. And
Okay.
then for me, Christina Aguilera would be the Kelly. Absolutely. She's,
Sure.
second place. The Nancy
Right.
Kerrigan, silver medalist. And
Yes.
to me, this was a no-brainer. I thought we would be done in 5 seconds. And look at this
Right.
contention that Renee has thrown
I
on here.
know.
Luckily, I
know.
love her so much. This is Britney is Beyonce every day, all day. She was a Beyonce before there was a Beyonce. She was doing there's a Pepsi commercial where, because Britney had a huge Pepsi campaign. She was
Right.
Pepsi. And there's a Pepsi commercial that she eventually let other people participate in. And so there's one where it's a Coliseum and it's her. She enters in first because she's been the Pepsi girl for a while.
Right.
And then Pink, and then Beyonce.
Yes.
And at this time, Britney was the biggest of the three and the trio. And they all sing "We Will Rock You." They're supposed to go out there and fight as gladiators, and Enrique
Amazing.
Iglesias is
Yeah.
like Caesar giving the thumbs up or thumbs down.
Okay.
But yeah, Britney was the biggest name. And like, oh, okay, who's this other person in there? Beyonce, interesting. Like,
Look
who's
at
that?
that.
Like,
I
people didn't really know her.
know that
Beyonce
Pink
was not always Beyonce.
Sure. Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. I didn't know that Pink could be an option. I can sing along with every word of Pink.
Oh yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know what that
yeah.
means, but I love Pink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's great. I love her. She's some Ariels. All right. Well, that was interesting. More interesting than I thought it was gonna be. We're still friends. We're still getting married
Very
platonically.
kind of you. And it's only because I couldn't be. I was intimidated by Britney. That's all. You're right. She should be Beyonce, but I was intimidated. So Mandy Moore, you get the prize.
I love it. And hello to Caleb from Maryland. We are just playing a game called Rank It. We just ranked our pop princesses of the 90s. Now we're going to rank our R&B princesses, and we can tag team this, Renee. We can totally tag team this. R&B princesses of the 90s. I think the easiest way, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. We'll start at the top. Who is probably the Beyonce of the time? It's not Beyonce in the 90s. Again, she was part of Destiny's Child. People don't really know who she was. They're like, oh, that girl who keeps kicking people out of the bands.
Right.
She was in like Austin Powers Gold Member. Nobody cared. She was in Pink Panther. Nobody cared. She was in Obsessed with Ali Larter, as we learned yesterday. Nobody cared.
Yep.
Then Carmen the Hip Opera. Nobody cared. And let me tell you, Obsessed, gotta Google the YouTube videos of it. There's like a fight scene between her and Ali Larter, and you're like, this is Beyonce doing this ridiculous Lifetime original movie style, over the top dramatic fight sequence.
Great.
It's so good. It's so good.
Would love it.
Yes. So I feel like Aaliyah is our princess. They dubbed her the princess of R&B. Gone way too soon. She had a really big career up until like she, died tragically. She was going to be in the 2 Matrix sequels. They had a part for her. She was in Romeo Must Die. She just but some might argue Brandy might be the Beyonce.
Ooh, I did love Brandy. Yeah. But I like Aaliyah. Let's get because Brandy's still with us, so let's give it to Aaliyah. I feel like Aaliyah needs it. Okay, does that seem right?
That's fair. Okay. And yes, I think Stacey will go with us on this because I know Stacey was a Moesha fan, so we'll give Brandy the Kelly spot because she's still here, she's doing her thing, and I just think Aaliyah would have been as massive as a Janet, as massive as she would have been an icon. She was on her way. She was on her way. Then for that third slot, you've got some options. You've got Monica. You've got Maya, and I think it's just down to those two. You got Monica and Maya. One of them's not making it onto the podium. It's a little sad. It's hard.
Now I wonder, because Monica and Brandy just made up. They just made up. So I don't want to create. What do you think would be best for them? Monica got third, but at least she's on the charts, or Monica didn't even make it. What's best for the friendship?
Ooh, this is gonna be so tough for me because I also loved. Like Monica and Maya were I loved Maya because she danced. She was a dancer. So I love that. But I don't know that her career took off as much as maybe Monica because she wasn't on the boys' mind, So yeah, this is a tough one. I think
you also can knock Brandy off. You can put Monica and Maya in second and third if you want. Brandy doesn't need it. She's fine.
I know, but I did have Brandy's album. I think I'm thinking about what America would say would be Brandy up there, but in my own personal heart, I probably would do Monica as the Kelly and Maya as the Michelle.
Yeah. I mean, that seems right. Can you help me with this? Because can I tell you who I listen to that I think is R&B, but I'm not sure if it was.
Yeah. Give me.
So I loved In Vogue. I love TLC, and I love Toni Braxton. But where does Toni Braxton land?
R&B, absolute R&B.
That's all R&B, all three of those.
Yeah, but I feel like those would be girl. Maybe we'll do a different one of like girl groups, R&B 90s girl groups. That's what we'll do. Yeah.
I love
Circle
that.
back for next week. Renee's eyes lit up because you also got SWV. That was my jam. Like I miss we used to have girl groups back in the day. In the 90s, we had girl groups, and now can't find a single one.
Can't have it. I don't love it. I do not love it. Okay. All right. I feel like we came to a very fair conclusion there. Everybody heard each other. We all respect each other. It makes perfect sense.
I asked you to listen, it was me. I was like, unpack this, Renee. I learned more about you today, and that was it was very interesting. I learned more about you. Mandy Moore is your Beyonce. She's your number one.
She really is. To this day, she is. Follow her Instagram. I love her. She's sweet. She might even be better than Jennifer Garner for me. She's a sweet lady, and I like her.
Renee loves sweet things because you're a sweet lady yourself. So I got it, Renee. It speaks to the heart of you. I like a bit of a popular meteoric mess. It's similar to, I love, blazing in. I got problems and issues. Burning things up. I'm hitting
Nope.
it up over here. I'm doing this. Yeah.
That's important. We need people. We need people too. I will gently argue that we need both because if everybody's coming in tearing down the drawbridge, then it's going to be chaos. But if you got a few sweeties in the back, be like, "You're doing great. I'm proud of you. We love Mandy more." Those good. Those people are good too.
All right, Renee, let's get to our last segment of the day. It is Giving
Yes.
Tuesday. So we're going to let y'all know some organizations. There's so much we've talked about. Oh my gosh, there's so much going on in the world. How can I help? Well, you can either give time or money to any of these organizations and let us know if there are organizations that are on your mind that folks should also be donating to. Renee, I'm
Yes,
just going
I would
to
love to
pull
say
up
special thanks to
them.
Sarah, our producer, who put this on the radar for me. I think we've all been looking to. There's so much to help with. So Ukraine, but then the same week that Ukraine happened, we found out that Texas was doing that horrific bill of you were reporting parents who supported their trans kids, which is it's just insane. So we all want to get ourselves to trans Texas.org. They are a transgender education network of Texas. Trent is an organization that helps furthering diverse gender equality in Texas, and Lord knows they need it right now. So we are running a little short on time, but I just take yourself on into Texas. One, it is a phenomenal education on this website. They also have a place where you can make a donation. So one more time, that's transtexas.org.
I love it, Renee. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And mine is kind of a melting pot of a lot of the conversations we've been having. So this is if you're like, oh, I want to help people in Ukraine, but what can I do? Specifically, LGBTQ people who are in Ukraine are really struggling right now. So you have Outright International. So you could go over to Outright International. They have launched a fundraising campaign to channel funds to groups in Ukraine for sheltering and support in nearby, specifically for LGBTQ people. As we know, Russia has some of the worst laws and ideas when it comes to LGBTQ people. And so they're really a group of people who are just really in danger and sometimes have difficulty finding shelter and safety in these times. So you can go over to Outright International, support them through the work that they're doing, and help a community that, again, it's horrific what's happening over there. But we have a group of people that is really terrifying what could happen to them if Russia takes control over Ukraine. And honestly, even some of the nearby countries like Poland that they're flocking to, not much better for LGBTQ people. So Outright International.
Great. Yeah, that's great. I mean, it's horrific and awful, and but that is. I do think that all of this makes is like God. What I'm helpless. There's nothing I can do. You can start with this. We can start with this. This will be good.
And Stacy also chiming in for Giving Tuesday. I love it. Shriners Children's Hospital also needs help as well. I think also St. Jude's Children's Hospital, my family often donates to as well. The children. I always think Tuesday, it's a day that we can give back, especially because Tuesday can be a little bit difficult. But when you give, you always feel better. When you're able to kind of take your mind and self off of yourself, you think about others, it really does kind of help sort of shift the mindset of like, oh wait, I can go help someone else and be of service.
Yes. Yes. Always. Gratitude and giving will fix your
Mm,
mood every single time.
mm,
Get
mm, mm,
grateful
mm,
and
mm.
give. Watch how fast it fixes everything. Well, Jam, we did it. We have made it to the end of yet another show. We got through Tuesday. We're going to treat ourselves tonight, and then we'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. right here, Pacific time. Pacific time.
I just want to put the
Yeah,
heaviness in your voice.
yes.
When 7 a.m. The
Uh,
struggle is real, but Renee, you do it. You do
well,
it
we do it.
flawlessly every day. Renee's
Do
here
we
at
do
7
it.
a.m. for you. Get on uppers for you.
Right back at you. Right back at you. Jim, do you want to tell them what they're getting into tomorrow? Or you want to surprise them?
I do. So tomorrow we got another action-packed show. We're gonna start with our morning jam. Y'all know we like to start with our morning jam of the day. What's your power anthem? And then we'll play celebrity birthday quiz. Renee and the Get On Uppers were killing it today. We're gonna quiz you on some trivia on some of the people who were born tomorrow. We'll continue our Women's History Month celebration with our Women's History Month moment. We're going to play What Would You Do Wednesday, where Renee is going to give us some scenarios. Usually it's just some advice that she needs because Therapy is free here.
It sure
And we're going to
is.
give Renee some advice. We're also going to play, well, what do you think of this? It's news that we look at, and we're going to ask y'all, what do you think of this? What are our thoughts? What are our opinions? We're going to unpack some news, and we'll play Whiling or Working It, where we'll give you scenarios of things that are happening. Was this person whiling? Were they working it? And we'll close with some Wednesday wisdom, and we'll check in to see what are y'all watching. And
my
it
goodness.
looks like Stacey, we're not going to get you tomorrow because you have a gathering. You're living your life. Well, that's okay. We know that we'll get you at some point. Stacey and Jimmy and Caleb and Bella, y'all have a great, amazing day. We're going to catch you tomorrow. But I think Backchannel's not over. Just because we're signing off
Sure
doesn't
isn't.
mean that the show is completely over.
No, it sure isn't. Right after this, we have Anthony Davis, then your pal Hal, and we'll be ending the day with Mario Smith. So you got tons of programming to still listen to if you like. If you
If
like.
you like. If you like. And please remember, go on over to www.backchannel.tv. Leave a review. We want to hear what you love about the show, or if there's things you want to see more of. Feedback is a gift. But remember, please lead with heart and be kind in those reviews there. And thank you all for watching Get On Up. I am James Arthur M.
And I'm Renee Colbert, and you just
Got
got
on
up.
up.
Have a great day, everybody.